Hello, it's me. I'm back again. I had to record it a little bit, so here's a little feature I'd like to share with you about the eclipses that are coming in November, at the end of November. So just wanted to get a little bit ahead and start talking about those a little bit. So these eclipses will occur in late November and early December, and they'll occur in Scorpio and in Taurus. Okay. So, so, so essentially, we're moving towards. Let's see. Let's give the approximate time. Fourth. It's a little bit off. All right. So we're talking around November 20th for the first eclipse, and this is a lunar eclipse, and we have Sun in Scorpio and Moon in Taurus. This will give sort of a shakeup in government and a fall from grace among some people who are in government. I find it fascinating that it's attached with Joe Biden's ascendant. So I think we can see some illness or some attack on this character around that time. So that's the most likely scenario that I see happening around that time. So the second eclipse, and it'll give increased debt to many countries. It'll give increased exposition of things that have been happening behind the scenes over the past year and a half. And I think you'll see a lot of shocking developments happening around that time. We'll get into more detail as to what the shocking developments actually are in subsequent broadcasts. But I think this is going to be really interesting for a lot of people. It'll also affect. Let's just see where it'll most dramatically affect people. It'll affect pretty much the heartland of the country. So the sun and the moon over here, there'll be a lot of fear and panic, especially between Texas and Michigan. And also, if we're honest, it'll extend into Washington. So this is a time of natural calamities. We do have a Mars line going over Turkey, which is not good for things like earthquakes and things like that. And the moon will be going over Iran. So Iran will have, I think, a shakeup in government. So will China. China will have, I would say, relatively difficult economic news around that time. And Eastern Europe, all through the Nordic countries, Finland, Sweden, and Norway will have bad news around that time. In terms of, but again, like I said, eclipses tend to reveal things. They tend to expose things, and we'll look at it in more detail. Also, interestingly, around that time, Jupiter's just about to go into Aquarius. So you'll see, and Saturn's already gone direct. Jupiter and Saturn are already gone direct, as you can see. And let me go ahead about 2 weeks to the lunar lunar eclipse. I'm sorry, the solar eclipse. My apologies. I think that's around December 4th. So these are rough approximations. I intend to give you much better. Yeah, so this is the solar eclipse. So that was a lunar eclipse we just saw. The next one's a solar eclipse. And again, it still sits squarely in Scorpio. So there'll be an attack on power, an attack on authority, and astral mapping, and some sort of crisis I think the United States will have to face in terms of foreign powers. I'm not predicting a war. That's not the issue. I think we're going to see something happen in the Mideast, especially around, not necessarily with Turkey, but Iran, and also some of the European powers. So this will be interesting, especially in terms of economic matters, because I think this particular time will be tough for both the United States and Europe economically, and things won't improve that much. And if we're looking in the middle of the ocean, tough times for the Azores, Cape Verde. That's where a lot of the activity is focused. But like I said, a disruption basically in government. And I can see some others over here. Japanese and the Australian government will also be facing some disruption. So will the Philippines and Guinea. So I think if I were looking for changes in governments or scandals connected with governments, I would look more strongly at that particular time. And again, some possibility of earthquakes in Turkey, and some kind of land disasters in Brazil. So, I mean, on the positive side, there'll be some changes which are long overdue. I don't think you're going to see a lot of overthrowing of governments. I don't think you're going to see a radical transformation. I think people who are expecting that are going to be very disappointed. That won't happen really for about another couple of years. But basically, you'll see sort of like the groundswell towards those types of things. Okay, all right. So I want to give you just a little bit more time on the broadcast. This gives us about 10 minutes more time, and I want to thank you for listening. Apologize for misjudging the time, and thank you very much for watching, and wishing you a blessed week. Namaste. And hopefully these will get more optimistic as we go on. I think the October broadcasts will be a lot happier, and late September, early October, and also especially after December, the forecast will be a lot more optimistic. Okay, thanks a lot, folks. See you soon. Bye bye, and namaste.